We're back, people, and today we're going to film on Durham Smythe, Miami Dolphins tight end, and he's just been so solid for them. He just gets the job done, all reliable, very consistent, really nice scheme fit, just understanding exactly where he needs to be, well balanced here as well, doing a lot of the blocking. And then in the receiving game, he just does just enough. Like, he's never going to be that elite guy there, but he's reliable, catches the things that are thrown his way, and is usually just in the right spot doing his job. Now, could they upgrade and get like a young stud in the draft? Potentially, yeah, but Smythe is just one of those guys who I think goes under the radar for this team, unheralded, and he just gives them a lot of versatility. Here you can see him working on some, sift blocking, working across the formation, basically becoming like a lead blocker and kicking out Joey Bosa. Very impressive. Sometimes, he could do better with his technique at times, but sometimes you just need to get your body in the way and seal these guys off. Like, he drops the shoulder into him, and then look like where he ends up getting thrown out. His back ends up getting turned to him, so he just sort of seals this off, giving this lane for Ahmed. Just being an aware player and making these plays on the fly like this, you get yourself slightly, out of position from your technique. But then he's like, hey, just cut him off, use my body as like a shield, and that will get the job done. So, like, pretty high instinctive play here to do that, and allowing, to pick up a nice 8-yard gain on that one. Here you can see him in the pass game. He's the, flat option. On that seam rail slide, he's the slide, and just, heads up play. And he just gets downfield too. Like, getting yak in this offense as a tight end is very important. Once he recognizes this guy blitzing, he throws up the hand right away. Him and Tua on the same page. Get him the ball. And, with other tight ends, like, sometimes, like, Smythe isn't the most athletic, but they'll usually just, knock it upfield right away. He just gets upfield, wastes no time, and that's exactly what you need when you're in that scenario. And I just like his decision-making overall process in pretty much all facets of the game. Another example of Smythe making a play, but this time down the field, finding that soft spot versus the zone. He's like the seam pusher. He sees Tua escaping the pocket and just becomes a nice, friendly target, and he pretty much catches all the things thrown his way. You can see him make this adjustment because Tua's working to the bottom here. If he did work to the top, he could have found Smythe right down the middle here. And then once he starts to feel some pressure, escape the pocket, he turns out of it, recognizes that quickly, just being instinctive, come back, work away from the safety to catch this ball, and then secure it, picking up a nice, 16 yards on 2nd and 9. Starting with a lot of passing game work here, because honestly, I think he had most of his work done versus the Chargers and the Bills. Here we get to see him chip on a 4th and 7 situation, and then just get out to the flat, be reliable, and get upfield. You can see, like, the difference with him and, like, Mike, in the game and just how they're used. And also, like, he'll just get up the field with his yards after catch. Mike will try to make someone miss and go nowhere. Here you get to see him help the chip to this side, leak out into the flat, become a reliable option. He sees all this space to work with, catch the ball with his hands, and then instantly just transition, get up the field, drop some shoulders, no wasted movement at all. Like, he's not going to offer you anything insane in the passing game, but he just understands exactly where he's supposed to be, and Tua definitely likes him, especially as like a check down option, and he's not going to, waste his time trying to make people miss, because that's just not his game. I do feel like Smythe hasn't had a chance to, like, show off his route running skills. Like, he's always been more of a blocker. And then here we get to see him lurk on some, like, stick and nod, sell it to the outside. And when he's had a chance to actually run some routes this season, they haven't been too bad. Like, they're nothing amazing or stand out, but he's actually giving you some stuff in the route sim, like initial release to the inside as you come to the outside, and then sell this back out here, really selling the stick, but then give the nod there and then break vertically, which, possibly could have been open if the ball wasn't thrown to Waddle here towards the middle of the field. Smythe showing some improvement in those areas, and I'd like to see him, maybe get a target on one of those plays where he's, trying to really run a route and beat DBs or linebackers one-on-one, because I do think he has improved on that this season. He just hasn't got it targeted on any of those plays. Smythe does a good job just blocking. That's where he's going to be very solid. Getting to the outside, he recognizes, like, look at him make this nice decision on this Savon Ahmed 10-yard run. Like, he thinks he's going to block, just base block 48 right here, but once he sees 48 react to the motion, he knows angled can take him, so he just instantly gets his eyes to the next level, find the safety, cut him off, sees that the safety is really trying to get this outside leverage, so he's like, I'll just drive you out this way, use my body, use my hands, carry you, and then that helps create this lane for Zavon to find that running lane down the field. Smythe can get down, he can be condensed, he can be tight, attached to the line of scrimmage, block some defensive ends even, and make some big plays, but he can also go out, block in space pretty well. He's a pretty versatile blocker, makes an impact in the passing game too when he needs to pass block. Just all around, that's where he probably makes his biggest impact for this team. Here you can see Smythe on the Raheem Mostert touchdown run, getting down, blocking that edge defender, getting onto him long enough because Mostert presses the line of scrimmage. This is an impressive block because, like, look at 48, like, all the outside leverage basically aligned as a 9, and he's just going down to, like, try to kick him out, square him up, and then once he sees 48 start to really commit to the inside, like, he's in a pretty good position here technique-wise, hand-wise, body lean. He's just, like, trying to drive him down, and now 48's not able to, you know, come off of it late enough until Mostert gets to the outside. So good job by Smythe sustaining long enough his one-on-one blocks. He can do his job pretty well, even versus bigger defensive ends, bigger outside linebackers, which is all you really want from your tight end. I do love how Mike uses him, getting him out just a little bit, a few extra yards, but he's still tight, so he has this natural outside leverage on 91, and he's just able to hook him right away, basically giving him a natural block. And then 91's, like, understands, like, he's at a leverage disadvantage, so he tries so hard to get back to the outside of this, even though Smythe's trying to seal him. But they're running to the boundary here, so he's trying so hard. He ends up getting overflowed. People get out of here, and then you just find this cutback lane. He sticks with it the whole time. Good hands, good job staying squared, like, play strength. Overall, it's all there for Durham. This is a pretty good job sustaining this block on a linebacker on this pitch where Mostert kind of, you know, had to make a lot of moves in the backfield initially, and he just sticks with it the whole way, never gives up. You can see how this plays out from this angle a little bit better. But just initially cutting him off, he just wants to seal him to this side, maintain that outside leverage where Mostert can get up. But Mostert has to slow down a bunch because of all this. So the linebacker keeps fighting. He just sticks with it. And now once this linebacker commits to the outside, gets that outside leverage after a while, he just drives him, carries him all the way, uses his own momentum against him, which then Mostert can use back as a cutback lane. TE1 Smythe just really understands his job and what needs to be done on every single play on those, especially on those running ones. Just Smythe's work does come on those seam rail slide RPOs, which is the staple of the Dolphins offense, at least was last year. They still run it a decent amount this year. Just this time, not in the slide. We get him working on the rail to the outside, and he just recognized the leverage immediately. Snap your head around just based because this guy's playing high inside leverage, and expect the back shoulder, which he does get. He makes a nice adjustment, catches the ball smooth, braces for the hit, and even stays on his feet, showing some nice balance just to convert that nice first down. He's very reliable in these situations. First game of the Broncos game, just getting upfield, acting like you're going to block like this, and he's showing some fluidity there, which I like to see. He ends up getting flipped a lot like this. I feel like a lot of times when he gets tackled, he'll get his feet taken out from underneath him. But you can see how he sort of sells this. Look like he might go to block this linebacker, and then giving some nice footwork there, showing some fluidity in the lower half, which isn't unique. Get around the linebacker, snap your head back around, him and two on the same page, catch the ball, and then, you know, get upfield. Would like to, I mean, if he was a little more explosive, like if they got Brock Bowers in this offense, they could, oh my God, that'd be insane. I mean, that's not going to happen because he's going to go like top 5, top 10, and the Dolphins will not be picking there. But Smythe just gets his job done for, you know, being one of the, you know, guys who's not as well known for this offense. He actually helps out this team a lot. He did make an impact in this Bills game right away, getting like catches quickly, basically doing the same thing here. It's not the same real slide RPO, but it's like similar concept with him working to the outside, recognizing the leverage of the defense, just where the corner is again. Look, he's playing high inside leverage. Just turn your head around, expect the back shoulder, and picking up, you know, a nice 6 yards or nice 8 yards right away, dropping his shoulder into a corner like this. Like, this is a difference between him and Gesicki. Like, I don't think he's, like, some crazy play strength guy where he's going to run people over, but Gesicki would not have gained anything after contact. Smythe is able to fall forward, pick up an extra 2 yards, which helps a lot in the long run. Now, here's the seam rail slide RPO, and this time he's the seam. So we've seen him in all facets of this game, and just quickly recognizing the defense, just like, because these routes that you're running against these, it's all about coverage recognition. You have a lot of different options that you can do, and once he sees all this space to work with, this guy gets to the inside. He knows the ball is going to come out quickly because it's an RPO. He sees the deep safety, so he wants to snap around, get his head quickly, and then look how he sort of starts to square up back to the quarterback because he knows, expect a lot of back shoulders in these situations. He does that, adjust, get upfield. Not going to make people miss really, but it's nice to see him at least throw his body around and try to get some physicality down the field. Smythe just making an impact on these plays, and that's, you know, where he's probably most impactful in the passing game is on these seam rail slide RPOs. Really nice block here from Durham on this 3-yard run touchdown to Achane, just sealing his guy off here, getting to the next level on 20. You know, it's a DB, but it's very impressive. You're trying to work past 90 here, so you got to like dip underneath, rip that shoulder past him, throw that by, and then cut him off, take a perfect angle to the point of attack, and now just drive, get him out of the way, and then Achan working off the back of him again, just getting him aligned in different leverage advantageous positions and him taking advantage of it just naturally because that guy just slid to the inside after all that, pre-snap movement. The versatility is just so important because he can line up like we've seen all over this line. He can even become like, a fullback in certain scenarios. This time on the jet sweep, just getting him out in space, being a big part of this to seal this guy to the outside, this corner right there. Taking good angles at the point of attack, it's important to, just get a body on a lot of these people because a lot of times when you're like moving that quickly out in space and it's a DB, even though it's not that impressive to like hold the block in the DB, it's pretty impressive to like get them in a good spot because they can easily slip underneath, avoid you. They're athletic, but he just does a good job taking that perfect angle. Look at him cut off that shoulder, that inside shoulder. He has no chance. And then Achan, everyone else doing a great job blocking as well. But so many of these explosive plays, Smythe ends up playing a big part of it. Like, I'm not going to show it from the Giants game, but he had, like, the whole offensive line really had a good block. But he had a good job of kicking out Thibodeau on that, like, 76-yard run. It wasn't anything too crazy, but it's just, he's usually involved on a lot of those plays, at least to some capacity. Last play that I'm going to break down for Durham Smythe. Just another good job on some of these tosses. This time being just attached to the line of scrimmage, which is nice to see, because we usually see him, like, in a little condensed split right here. We get to see him like look at him use like this drag hand right here to help the left tackle reach that block, which is super nice, super understanding. And now you just want to take a perfect angle. He collects himself, stays under control, and just cuts off 43. He's a good linebacker. These Bills linebackers, it's tough to cut off these guys and get good runs out in space like this, but they just do a very excellent job up front where they've really excelled this season. And it's helped like that whole unit up there, the offensive line, tight ends, fullbacks, have really helped this offense elevate. Give some credit to Julian Hill as well, who's played well in his limited snaps the past couple games. So I kind of like this tight end room. I think they could still add. I want to add maybe a younger stud who can play as a receiver and a running back to this group, and I would be very confident in them. But I do like their fits, and they're at least going to make an impact as blockers. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.